In the heart of eastern Nigeria, where the red soil kissed the feet of farmers and the palm trees stood like ancient guardians, there was a small village known as Umuoka. Umuoka was not a rich village, but it was a village of dignity, tradition, and hard work. Every morning, the village would wake up to the sound of cockcrow and the rhythm of pistols pounding yam in wooden mortars. Smoke rose gently from kitchens as women prepared akpu, ofe onugbu, and roasted corn for their families. Children ran barefoot, laughing loudly, while old men sat under the udara tree at the village square discussing life. A na-ahụ nwoke n'ọrụ, anaghị ahụ ya n'ọnụ. A man is known by his work, not by his mouth. Among the young men of Umuoka, two friends were inseparable. Their names were Chike and Ugo. Chike was handsome, tall, and spoke with confidence like a man who believed the world owed him greatness. Even when he had no money, his shoulders always stood high, and his voice always carried pride. Ugo, on the other hand, was quiet, humble, and strong. His body was built like a young lion, broad shoulders, hard-working hands, and calm eyes that had looked like they had seen tomorrow. They were like brothers. Where Chike went, Ugo followed. Where Ugo walked, Chike laughed. But deep inside, they were different. One believed destiny would fall like rain. The other believed destiny must be planted like yam. One evening, as the sun sank behind a thick forest, Chike sat outside his father's compound, staring into the sky like a man searching for answers. Ugo came and sat beside him, chewing a piece of sugarcane. Chike suddenly sighed. Ugo, do you ever feel like your life is too small for your spirit? Ugo raised his brow. What do you mean? Chike stood up, passing. This village, this poverty, this struggle, it is not my portion. I feel it. I know it. Something big is waiting for me. Ugo laughed lightly. My brother, anaghị eri echi taa. Chike frowned. What? Ugo replied calmly. Onye jiri echi rie taa, agụ ga-echere ya. He who eats tomorrow's food today will meet hunger. Chike scoffed. You and your proverbs. I am tired of farming. I am tired of sweating. I want to know my future. Ugo's face became serious. The future is in God's hands. Chike nodded sharply. Exactly. And that is why we must go and meet Ezemo, the great seer. Let him reveal what lies ahead. If my spirit is right, then I will stop suffering like a common man. Ugo hesitated. Ezemo was not an ordinary man. His shrine was deep in the forest, where even hunters feared to step wrongly. But Chike's eyes were burning with determination. Ugo finally said, If you insist, I will follow you. But remember, he paused, then spoke softly. Amuma abụghị ndụ. Prophecy is not destiny. Chike laughed and slapped his shoulder. My brother, when I become king, you'll be my right-hand man. Ugo smiled faintly, but his heart felt uneasy. On the agreed day, they left early. The forest swallowed them. The deeper they went, the colder the air became. Birds stopped singing. Even the wind seemed to whisper warnings. They finally arrived at the strange clearing. At the center stood a hut made of ancient mud, covered with black clothes and cowries. Bones of animals hung at the entrance. A smell of burnt herbs filled the air. Ugo swallowed hard. Chike's eyes widened, but pride would not allow him to fear. They stepped forward. Suddenly, a voice came from inside the shrine, like thunder hidden in a cave. Who enters the land of spirits? Chike trembled slightly, but spoke quickly. It is Chike, son of Okorie, and this is my friend, Ugo. Silence. Then a tall old man stepped out. His name was Ezemo. His hair was white like cotton. His eyes were red like firewood ember. His body was thin, but his presence was heavy like a mountain. He carried a small bag and a staff decorated with feathers. Ezemo stared at them as though he was looking beyond their flesh. Then he sat on a raffia mat and brought out cowries. "Speak," he commanded. Chike bowed. "Great seer, we have come to know what tomorrow holds." Ezemo nodded slowly and poured the cowries on the mat. They scattered like raindrops. The old man began to chant, "Umo ala, umo miri, umo here." Ugo's body grew cold. Chike held his breath. Ezemo's finger moved over the cowries like a spider dancing on its web. Suddenly, his face changed. He raised his head and stared at Chike. Then he spoke. "Chike, I see gold. I see drums. I see chiefs kneeling. I see you sitting on a throne, a golden throne. You will be a king." Chike's eyes widened. His mouth opened in disbelief. "Me? King?" Ezemo nodded. "Yes, the crown is waiting." Chike nearly shouted with joy. He turned to Ugo. "Did you hear that?" Then Ezemo slowly turned his head toward Ugo. His voice became low. "Ugo, I see suffering. I see torn clothes. I see hunger. I see you dying in poverty, alone." Ugo froze. Chike's smile disappeared for a moment. The forest went silent. Even the cowries seemed to stop breathing. Ugo's throat tightened, but he managed to speak. "Is that all?" Ezemo nodded. "That is all. Go." Chike grabbed Ugo's hand. They left the shrine, but as they walked back to the village, one heart was dancing and the other was bleeding. From that day, Chike became a different man. He walked around Umoka like a rooster that had already won the fight. He went to the village square and shouted, "Listen, people of Umoka, the spirits have spoken. I am destined to be king." The villagers gasped. Some laughed, some clapped, some whispered. Old men under the Udara tree shook their heads. One elder, Nze Abata, spoke. "My son, Ana Hueze Noru, Oburo Nonu." But Chike ignored him. He began to spend money recklessly. He bought expensive wrappers and imported sandals. He bought a gold chain so heavy it shone under the sun like a river of fire. He hired boys to fan him. He stopped going to the farm. Why should a future king carry hoe, he would say. He began to eat like royalty. He drank palm wine like water. He organized small feasts every market day. Women started gossiping. Chike has changed. Men started envying. He is already living like king. But Ugo watched quietly. He watched Chike sell his goats, sell his father's land, borrowed money, spend more, laugh more, dance more, and work less. One evening, Ugo confronted him. "Chike, my brother, you are spending too much." Chike laughed. "Ugo, you are afraid because your future is poverty." Ugo's heart sank. That was the day friendship began to crack. That night, Ugo could not sleep. He stared at the ceiling of his hut as mosquitoes sang around him. His mind replayed the seer's word. "You will die in poverty." Ugo sat up. He remembered his father's voice long ago. "Aka jaja ne wotenri." Dirty hands brings food. He stood and walked outside. The moon was bright. The village was asleep. Ugo whispered to himself, "Even if the spirits say poverty, I will fight it with my hands." At dawn, Ugo packed his few belongings. His mother cried, "Where are you going, my son?" Ugo hugged her. "To search for a better tomorrow." He left Umoka quietly. The villagers thought he had gone mad. Chike laughed when he had. "Let him go and die in the bush," as the seer said. But Ugo did not look back. Ugo walked far, so far that the village drums could no longer be heard. He reached deep forest land where nobody lived. He cleared bushes with his cutlass. He built a small hut with bamboo and mud. He planted yam, cassava, maize, melon, and vegetables. The first year was hard. Snakes came at night. Wild animals destroyed crops. Rain flooded his hut, but Ugo refused to give up. He worked before sunrise. He worked till night. He trapped animals. He stored food. He dug pits to preserve yam. Year after year, his farm expanded. He employed young men passing through. He began to trade. Soon, he built barns, big barns. He built storehouses. He bought goats, then cows, then rams. His compound became a small settlement. People started calling his bush home Ulo Ugo. Back in Umuoka, Chike was still waiting for kingship, like a man waiting for ripe mango to fall without climbing the tree. Years passed, but no king died. No crown came. Chike's money finished. His gold chain was sold. His expensive clothes turned to rags. Then disaster struck. Rain refused to fall. Crops dried up. Yams became scarce. Children's cheek sank inward. Mothers cooked soup without meat. People started boiling leaves just to survive. Umuoka entered famine. And famine is a wicked visitor. It does not knock before entering. It enters and destroys pride. Even Chike, the future king, became thin like a broomstick. His servants left him. His friends avoided him. His stomach cried every night. Then a rumor spread like wildfire. Ugo has food in the bush. Ugo is rich. Ugo has barns full of yam. The villagers could not believe it, but hunger does not allow doubt. They gathered and began the journey to Ugo's bush compound. One morning, Chike stood outside his empty house. His eyes were sunken. His clothes were torn. His bride was dead. His mother looked at him and cried, "My son, where is the kingship you promised us?" Chike could not answer. He had the villagers leaving. They were going to Ugo. Chike swallowed his shame. He joined them. As they walked, people gossiped. "Is that not Chike, the one who said he would be king? Now look at him." Chike wanted to disappear into the earth, but hunger pushed him forward. When they finally arrived at Ugo's compound, everyone froze. It was not a hut anymore. It was like a small kingdom. Tall barns stood like towers. Servants moved about. Livestock filled the compound. The smell of roasted yam and palm oil soup filled the air. Children were eating and laughing. Chike's eyes widened. He could not speak. Then Ugo appeared. He wore a simple wrapper, but his skin glowed with health. He looked bigger, stronger, richer. His eyes met Chike's. There was silence. Chike fell on his knees immediately. "Ugo, my brother, please forgive me. Hunger is killing me." Ugo stared at him for a long moment. Then he sighed. "Stand up, Chike." Chike cried. Ugo turned to his servants. "Bring food, bring yam, bring soup, give them water." The villagers began to eat like people rescued from death. They cried while eating. Some praised Ugo. Some shook their heads. An old woman said, "Ogugundu bu nri. The foundation of life is food." Chike could not stop crying. After days of eating and regaining strength, the elders gathered. Nze Abata, the same elder Chike ignored, stood up. "My people," he said, "a man have saved us, not by prophecy, but by work." The villagers shouted, "Ugo." The elders continued, "Onyekwe, Chiekwe." When a man agrees, his personal God agrees. They approached Ugo and bowed. "Ugo, from today, you are our king." Ugo stepped back in shock. "Me? King?" The elders nodded. "You did not inherit wealth. You created it. You did not wait for destiny. You chased it." The villagers cheered. Women danced. Drums sounded. Even the trees seemed to shake. Ugo accepted with humility. And the next market day, the entire village gathered. He was crowned. They placed the red cap on his head. They gave him the staff of authority. They dressed him in royal beads, and he sat on the throne. The same prophecy that once promised Chike kingship became fulfilled in Ugo. Chike watched from the crowd. His heart was heavy like stone. He remembered the day he mocked Ugo. He remembered the day he wasted his life waiting for a crown. Tears rolled down his cheeks. He whispered, "I killed my destiny with my own hands." Ugo noticed him. After the ceremony, Ugo called him, "Chike." Chike approached with trembling legs. Ugo spoke calmly, "My brother, you and I had the prophecy on the same day, but we choose different roads." Chike bowed his head. Ugo continued, "Ana achọ ndụ, anaghị achọ amụma." One should chase life, not prophecy. He placed his hand on Chike's shoulder. You will not die in hunger. You will walk with me. I will teach you. Chike broke down completely. He cried like a child, and for the first time in many years, Chike's pride died. Under King Ugo, the village changed. He introduced farming techniques. Soon, Umuaka became famous. Traders came from far villages. Palm oil flowed like rivers. The market became busy. Children became healthy. Houses became bigger. Even the poorest man had food. The village that once cried in famine became a village of abundance, and the people began to say, Ugo bu Ezain, Oru bu Akuain. Ugo is our king. Hard work is our wealth.